In high winds, these turbines can spin at up to 290 kilometers an hour. Texas, the land of oil, is also one of the windiest regions of the United States. Russ Petty is a third-generation Texan farmer.
Since 1932, our family has been here.
In 2006, 43 wind turbines were built on his farm, among the cotton and the cows.
The wind turbines don't bother them at all. In fact, in the summertime, they like to use the shade to get out of the heat. And so it's pretty funny when the shadow walks across the pasture, you can see the cattle move with the shadow.
Standing at 110 meters high, these wind turbines belong to electric companies who rent out Petty's land. He makes about $5,000 per turbine, which adds up to about 20% of the farm's total revenue.
Anytime you're in agriculture, you're always looking for additional sources of revenue, and the wind turbines seem to make sense. They don't take up a lot of your land. That helps pay some bills.
West Texas is an arid region prone to drought, but revenue from the wind industry has helped several struggling farmers keep their land. And in this deeply Republican state, the financial argument has easily outweighed opposition from those who are worried about the impact on the landscape.
The wind energy business is pretty new for this area, and so we're helping diversify not only our sources of revenue here for ourselves, but also diversifying the energy production for the United States and for the world.
The country's top oil-producing state is now also its top wind energy producer. The Lone Star State has more than 30,000 megawatts of wind capacity. If Texas were a country, it would be the sixth largest wind energy producer in the world. For Roderick Wetzel, a leading lawyer in wind energy law, renewable energy developed easily in Texas because the market there is not subject to federal regulations.
It's like the Wild West of the old days, where you can simply stake out a claim, get your leases, you don't have to get any permits, you sell it to the local populace, you get some tax benefits from the local taxing authorities, and you start building. You just don't have any of the bureaucracy or red tape that you do in other states. And so Texas has just boomed continuously in our practice from the beginning until now.
This renewable energy boom has had a real impact on the local economy.
The wind companies have been taxed, and so it's increased our overall tax base from in 2000 about $435 million to today over $3 billion, which has resulted in things that you can see, new jobs, hotels, restaurants.
With thousands of new jobs available, the wind industry has become an appealing career path. In Sweetwater, the Texas State Technical College is offering a program to train future technicians.
Remember, you hold it down until it gets there.
Mm-hmm. And then you can
and then you release it,
okay.
And then you check it again.
And then see.
And then you turn it off to set it. I'm teaching the students how to work the high torque machine. This is for torquing bolts in the turbine. This is done in commissioning.
Employment of wind turbine service technicians is projected to grow about 60% by 2029. For the students, it's the promise of a stable professional future.
It's just a growing field, and that's what I've seen too. Just want something that's always going to be there, to have jobs and stuff. So, and I think the way we're going right now is not very great for like the atmosphere and stuff, how we're doing it. So it will definitely help making everything renewable.
French energy giant Engie has also bet on wind as the future of the industry by investing in renewable energy in the state.
The rotor is 140 meters in diameter. The larger the rotor diameter, the more wind we can catch.
In 2020, despite the pandemic, the company developed 6 new wind farms in the U.S., like this one near Dallas.
The actual generator is actually on top that's generating the electricity, and then it's feeding it down into this.
Feeds it down through the cables down into here.
With its wind turbines, Engie serves the electric needs of cities as well as major companies like Walmart, Amazon, and Microsoft. About a quarter of the electricity of Texas comes from wind, and that share is expected to keep growing.
For companies to keep
continuing down this path of energy transition, moving more and more into renewables. The cost per megawatt hour has to be competitive with other sources of energy. Now, you can look around and see that the investment that we make in these huge wind farms is very significant. And one of the things that's very important for that continued development over time is the availability of investment tax credits by the U.S. government. But the Biden administration has put some very strong and important goals out there. And I think one of the things that we see in the U.S. now compared to, say, 10 years ago is a real surge in interest in decarbonizing.
Joe Biden's trillion-dollar infrastructure proposal includes billions of dollars for tax breaks and new spending on renewable energy. So far, though, Democrats and Republicans have not been able to agree on an actual bill, let alone voted through Congress.